back to a fun review today. We're talking about Season 2 of Netflix's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. It's been pretty consistent lately when it comes to getting new He-Man related content. It almost seems like it's a revolving door of Revelation and then this show, which leads us back to this series because it's going to debut on Netflix March 3rd. If you had watched my previous review for Season 1, you would know that I wasn't like a big fan of the first season. I was kind of mixed on it as a whole. It is an interpretation that's not really geared towards me as an adult, but there was still some fun to be had here, and I wanted to give it another season to kind of give it the benefit of the doubt. And honestly, I'm pretty glad that I did. I actually had a lot more fun with Season 2 than I did with Season 1. Season 2 is a vast improvement because now that we've gotten the origins out of the way from Season 1, it feels much more in line with classic He-Man that we know and love, which I found to be a blast watching. While Season 2's story is very simple and straightforward, I mean it is a kid's show after all, I never found myself being bored in any shape or form. As the main bulk of the Season 2 plot feels very much ripped out of the classic He-Man series, both sides attempting to collect pieces of the Sigil of Hiss, but if Skeletor gets his hands on it, he's going to use it to raise the Snake Army, and it's a very fun race. All throughout the 8 episodes, it's kind of a fun back and forth. Now that all of the initial groundwork has been laid with Season 1, it seems like to me that they had a lot more creative freedom here, and it really shows in a lot of different ways. One of the big ways is I think they stepped up the animation because the fight sequences in Season 2 are a lot better. They're much more ambitious and a lot of fun. Several of these different episodes are pretty much just dedicated to big epic battle sequences, especially the last couple episodes. The transformations still aren't one of my favorite aspects. I've kind of just become accustomed to them, but even still, outside of the transformations, you can't go wrong with the fights themselves between He-Man, Skeletor, and many others along the way. It's a visual treat, and it plays out in a wide variety of fun, interesting set pieces, so what's not to love there? I gotta say, I'm loving what they're doing with this series when it comes to the whole dynamic between He-Man and Skeletor. We've been seeing both of these characters clash for almost 40 years now, if you could believe it, so there's not really too much you can do to be fresh or unique, but I am liking what they're doing here to try their best to do that here, and I've enjoyed it. I think their dynamic is one of the best elements of the show. Their characters, I think, are elevated by the fact that they have two great voice actors behind them, Yuri Lowenthal and Ben Diskin. I have to admit, I love this portrayal of Skeletor that Ben Diskin is doing. I think he's probably one of the best Skeletors around. I mean, he's no Alan Oppenheimer or even Mark Hamill on Revelation, but I like this spin on the character. They really turn up that Skeletor humor in Season 2. They balance out that evil demeanor that he has with all the different goofy jokes. Like at one point in the season that made me laugh out loud is how he celebrates his birthday. It felt very much like the goofiness from the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Longtime He-Man fans will probably be happy to know that they incorporate a lot of different He-Man characters from the universe into Season 2. Most of them, they're not prominent roles, they're kind of just 1 or 2 episodes to get a few lines. You gotta bring some new characters into the fold so they can sell some more toys. Triclops returns, Manny Faces, a new version of Mosquito, that was an interesting twist on the character. But the main one that's predominantly billed or is in a lot of the episodes as a main character is probably Stratos. Personally, Stratos was never a character that I really gravitated towards in He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I thought he was fine, and he's fine once again in this show. I mean, he kind of does bark up the wrong tree a lot of the time. He is very much grating on myself and the characters as the episodes progress, but he is a very cool and charismatic character that kind of brings a fun dynamic to the team. Not only is he a good ally, but I also think he doubles a lot as a great test to Adam as a leader as they kind of try and back and forth fight over who's going to lead the Masters of the Universe. All throughout the 8 episodes, you see Adam's leadership skills put through the ringer with everything he has to endure keeping the team together. And you see as the season progresses, as he's juggling so many different things trying to keep everyone happy, it causes the team to kind of have some friction between him, Crass, Teela, Duncan, and Cringer. It's all part of that natural growth they have together as a team, even if sometimes in the episodes they are separated in the different storylines. The separations in the teams are kind of a bummer because it happens to both Skeletor's team and He-Man, so we don't see certain characters get a lot of screen time here. And the storylines themselves that we do go on with some of these subsets, whether it's storylines following Teela, Orko, and King Randor, or it's Teela and Evelyn, most of them, they generally don't move the plot forward all that much. The main plot, I mean. Season 2 is 8 episodes long, which is actually 2 episodes less than Season 1, because Season 1 had 10 episodes, and while I did have fun watching Season 2 a lot more than I did Season 1, you can really feel this adventure being stretched out a bit longer than it needed to be. I think this could have very easily been a 6-episode season and it would have felt a little bit less stretched out, whether whether it's the filler episodes, the plot lines that don't really go anywhere towards the main plot line. And without going into too much detail, there is a conflict with Crass in the last episode of season 2. It felt kind of out of nowhere dilemma to throw in there because it seemed like the main conflict of season 2 was resolved in episode 7, so it just felt kind of random here. We do set up a very interesting and exciting cliffhanger for season 3 though, because I'm very excited to see where we go with season 3. It seems like with the way that we hint at things at the end of the season, season 3 may potentially be the final season. I don't know, that's just what I got out of the final battle kind of aspect to what they were saying. But yeah, all around, I think that season 2 of this series is a vast improvement over the first season. It felt more much like He-Man to me. I had a blast watching it. It comes out March 3rd on Netflix if you get a chance to watch it. I mean, it's 8 episodes, but I mean, they're like 25-minute long episodes. It goes by very fast. You could binge them all in a day or two if you really wanted to. Once you get a chance to check out He-Man and the Masters of the Universe season 2, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the series? Did you like the series, not like the series? Do you prefer season 2 to season 1, or do you still like season 1 a little bit more? And also, are you excited about a potential season 3 and the way that we maybe cap off the series in that way? I'm pretty excited, at least, as a He-Man fan. It's been a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out the reviews. I really appreciate that. Be sure to leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Strip update, reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Next time, I'll see you guys later.